Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about how to respect and use your ATM card and Aadhaar card. For better understanding, I request you to listen till the end. Thank you. I want to share a story I have read on the internet. There was this man who was 35-year-old. He owned a business and it was doing real good. He married the love of his life. They were blessed with a son. He was about 10 years. We can call it a perfect family in every possible way. One day, it so happened that his caring, loving, and darling wife passed away, which sent this man shattered and into a state of shock. It was an irreplaceable loss. Just imagine what must have gone through his mind looking at his 10-year-old son, who has a great life ahead. As usual, his relatives and friends advised him to remarry and settle down. Now this was happening. His relatives and friends advising him to remarry and settle down was happening for quite some time. One fine day, this man called all his relatives and friends and said, "I have to make an announcement." And this is what he told them. "After taking your advice into consideration, I have finally decided not to remarry. I will dedicate the rest of my life to raise my son because my son is a gift to me from my wife. No matter what it takes, I will look after him well, and my life will be successful with my son's success." While he was talking, he was holding tears in his eyes. Now that shows how much he loved his wife and son. His family was everything for him. Once he finished saying those words with an emotionally choked voice, there was this uneasy calmness in the room. No one knew what to say and how to respond. And after a while, they left. And the story goes on. Here, let me fast forward by 13 years. The son grows up and he's got every good thing that any son would ask for. But I think he must have gotten better than good, because we know just how much his father loved and sacrificed for him. And the most satisfying thing in this story is the son also did his best and was hand in glove in his father's business. I think that's how children should grow up and take responsibility. Great job, son. Now the big day has come. The son gets married in a grand style. The family has now got to the next level of joy and happiness. Business is growing. Son had become more responsible, which means things are pretty fine. So, like any loving father, the father thought it was the right time to hand over the profitable family business and his will to his son and daughter-in-law, and then retire. Wow, what a blessing it is. Okay, let's continue. After a year or so, the father had his breakfast a bit early one morning, and after starting to eat, he as usual asked his daughter-in-law for curd if it was there. His daughter-in-law said there was no curd. That was perfectly fine. At times you have and don't have, that's okay. But that conversation was heard by his son, who was entering the dining area to join them for breakfast. By the time they joined the father on the table, the father had and left. The son and his wife sat down to have breakfast, and on the table, his wife brought a bowl of curd. And after having breakfast and with no comments, the son left home for work. That day and night, the son pondered over the curd matter. The next day, the son requested his father to get married. Strange, isn't it? For which his father told him, "I don't need a second marriage. I gave you all the love. You don't need a mother, son. What is the use of this second marriage?" The son politely replied him, "Dad, I'm not getting a mother for myself or a wife for you. I'm only trying my best so that you get your bowl of curd every day." Dad, you know what? From tomorrow, my wife and I will move to a rented apartment and I will work in your office as any other salaried employee. Dad, I try my best, but I am left with no other option than to do this, so that your daughter-in-law knows the value of a bowl of curd and understands the value of my loving dad who sacrificed his everything for my sake. Wow. At this point, I am so amazed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen to this carefully. Your parents can be your ATM cards. Go ahead and use them. You can use or misuse. But what I want to say is, use your parents as ATM cards only and only if you can be as an Aadhaar card to your parents. Aadhaar here means dependence or dependability. Use your parents as ATM cards only and only if you can be as an Aadhaar card to your parents. Give your parents the pride and reasons to live. Make them a part of you and your success. If there's anyone who's listening me right now and are not in good terms with your parents, I humbly request you to get back in terms with them. I pray God revives your beautiful mind and loving heart to get that reconciliating thought to become Aadhaar card in true sense to your ATM card. That's your parents. Let's learn to humble ourselves. By doing so, you will gain the courage to face people and say, I'm sorry. It goes a long way. Please do not take your parents and their love for granted, because we know what goes around comes around. As you sow, so shall you reap. Love and respect your parents more than anything or anyone else. Let me put a disclaimer here. There are exceptions. If you find value in what you've just heard today, please like and share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Winfluence Broadcasting. Lots to come in my next podcast. Thank you for listening. My name is Daniel. Take care and God bless us all.